Hi, this is Marguerite with a share of some journals made from junk mail. Like you, I get a ton of junk mail, and I started thinking about ways that I could possibly use them to make a journal. And I wasn't planning so much a journal for writing, but a journal for collaging and painting and things like that. So what I did was I chose some pieces of junk mail and assembled it and tied it together with a 5-point pamphlet stitch. I didn't take too many pieces because the pieces that I chose are kind of heavy, heavier weight paper, and it would get bulky really fast if I put too much stuff. So I chose pieces that were different sizes. This I just kind of washi taped together, but the rest are attached in the middle here. Some that just fold out, some are tri-folds. I put an envelope in the middle, or at least I like to have at least one envelope in these little books. This folds out here. This is a really thick one. This is kind of thick as well. And then that's that. So I've got a couple of stages of different books here so that I can show you what I'm doing. Here I've started to collage, and what I usually do is I just go through. I've got this little folder that I keep stuff that I cut out, all kinds of just scraps left over from projects and pieces of magazines that I've cut out, things like that, stickers, and then I put it together. So this is a sticker from Trader Joe's, this is a piece of a comic book, and I used a frame, which is a window from an envelope, a little ticket, and this is a circle punch, just a map. And this comes from Duluth Trading Company, one of their catalogs that comes in the mail. Duluth has a lot of really nice titles of things that I used in a couple of my projects I really like, so I just go through them, cut out titles of things. It's a clothing company, or they sell mostly clothing items, so it's really nice. And I got this idea actually from Shannon Green, who said, well, she had been talking about Duluth Trading Company in one of her videos, and I was like, you know what, I just got one of those in the mail, so let me go look. And sure enough, there's some really nice titles in there. So when I collage, I don't have anything in mind. I put things together that I think look good together, but there's no rhyme or reason really. Everybody has, of course, different opinions of what looks good together or what doesn't. I also added a little bit of washi tape here and there to hold down the edges if I thought they needed a little bit more support. Piece of comic book over. There's a lot of good images in Via, the magazine Via, which is the AAA publication once a month. This is a printout. Or not a printout, also again from Via, and this as well, I think. Something I got from the library. This is a receipt for my husband's travel in Japan. Here's an envelope in half, cut in half, or not cut in half, folded in half, and then I just slit this top here so that it would open. Okay, half folded in half, one part folded in half. Here's the other half of the envelope. So this is just all glued on with glue stick or double-sided tape in some cases. Circle punch. I really like the circle punches because you can go through all kinds of magazines or stuff that comes in the mail. This was a Ballard's, I think, with home items, which is really fun to cut out, to punch out with a circle punch. More receipts. This is from Better Homes and Garden. Via again. Piece of map. Okay, so you get the idea. This is like collaging. This is all collaging. After that, I went ahead and I did a little bit of painting and stamping on top of that. So I use acrylic paints, just a little bit, not too much. I wanted to do kind of outlining around the outsides and yeah, things like that. So again, this is another Duluth Trading Company title. Today, tomorrow, 10 years from now. I thought that was really cool. Another window with something pretty inside. This one, let me see if I can get, I have to pull my computer screen back up so that I can see if it's showing. Yeah. So this one I did a little stencil and I used a kind of shiny pen to make some of that background. Because I did a stencil with these little flower things and I did not like the way it looked. I used 3 colors and I wasn't crazy about it. So then I added something on top of that kept on adding things until I thought it looked okay. Here is a rubber stamp over an iPhone page, little piece of paper that I collaged down. So you can see a little bit of the painting here and there. I didn't want to do too much because I wanted to kind of preserve the images that were underneath. Here I did another stencil, and this page was really slick, this piece of paper. It has a plastic coating on the top, so I had to use a little bit of gesso first to kind of give it that texture so that the stenciling would take to it. And yeah, here also I did a little bird stencil, and then around everything I did paint. This one I also did, this was a rubber stamp, and then again I used that ink pen to kind of shiny ink pen to make it a little bit more noticeable because it was a very dull kind of a gray color, a stamp. Stamping here of course. Some of the stamping is very subtle, which is nice. I always like kind of the softer and gentler tones rather than the bright and strong. This one really folds out and I can't get it all into the camera. There we go. This is the best place in my house for light, natural light, but the sun is shining really strong now and there's a lot of shadows. But you can get the main idea at any rate. What else do I want to say about this? I used different kind of text rubber stamps. Here's another sticker from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has got to be one of my favorite sources of collage material. Here's another. This is also from the Trader Joe's flyer, monthly flyer. There's a lot of great illustrations out of those flyers. Here's my envelope. I got something in there. This is a map from the San Diego Zoo, so thanks to my mom for bringing that after she came back with the kids from the zoo. She brought me all kinds of things from San Diego, the trip that my kids took with them down to San Diego. Here are just a lot of I had a whole bunch of strips of different kinds of paper from a paper pad, and I had them in the trash, and I keep a little bowl of trash next to me, a little bowl for trash. As I'm working, I throw things in that little bowl, and then I was just kind of looking through it to see if there was anything of interest and pulled those out. So you really can use anything and everything for these kinds of journals. They don't have to be your best pieces or your nice pieces. You just put stuff together. And then again, don't worry about your pieces, because if you don't like it, you can always paint over them. Here this is a napkin. I glued down a napkin over the top. Here's another stamp, rubber stamp. Acrylic paint. This strip was really vibrant, bright, this pattern paper, and I didn't want it so bright, so I just used acrylic paint, this beige color, over it, and it really softened it. I also painted a little bit sometimes over the washi tape, and that's okay. That works as well. That happens from time to time, and it looks just fine. Some more stamping over text. And that is it. So these are my 3 pieces. Close that back up. And here is what you start with. Start off with the junk mail. So you definitely, there's a ton of possibilities for using this stuff. You don't need to use gesso on top of everything. If you feel like something is really smooth, what I sometimes did is when I collage stuff onto it, I use double-sided tape rather than glue stick. But 90% of the time on this kind of paper, glue stick is just fine to just, put it right on. Here's another one. This again, well, this is the, you can even see it, how shiny it is. Or maybe you can't. Oh yeah, there. See, it's very shiny. So this is another piece that I would use with double-sided tape. But other than that, sky is the limit. So until the next time, I will post this soon. Thank you. Bye.